Good afternoon, everybody. Mike here. I'm standing in front of this Kubota 2501 and I just wanted to do a small video today. I'm on a bit of a hiatus work-wise. It's been, I guess you could say, a little dry up here for the last month for me, running against the competition up here. So in the meantime, I'm working around the homestead, and today I'm working on this tractor. Actually, I'm cleaning this tractor. And I was just going to show you guys what I do with this Kubota or any of my other equipment to keep it fairly good condition, because it's not cheap and I like to kind of stay on top of it. So have a look over here. I usually got a pail over here, and in this pail, whether it's for my truck or any of my equipment, I got some Armor All, tire blackener. And if you look here, I usually run WD-40, Crown, T10 spray. You can get that at any automotive store. And a little bit of turtle wax sometimes. It just depends on what I'm working on. So what I'm doing today is I thought I'd clean up this Kubota, because it was pretty dusty and pretty dirty from working a little bit, and I got the time. So I'm going to clean this thing up a little bit. And I've already wash this thing down with a little bit of that turtle wax car wash stuff for the paint in that pail. And then I just generally armor all the hood. And this thing has not been cleaned for a while, so I like to just keep on it. And this tractor, of course, never sleeps outside. These things are way too expensive to leaving them outside, and I keep this tractor is always sleeping inside an MC containers back there, so it never stays out. Generally, I keep it out of the sun, out of the rain, whatever. If I'm working it, I work it, and when I'm done working it, I put it away. You guys can see I just put the old Armor All to it, and you know what? For the price of these tractors, it's my belief anyway, why not take care of them? These things are like 20 to 25,000 bucks Canadian. I think I paid 23,000 bucks for this tractor in 2015. That was all in, and it's a lifetime tractor. You just take care of them, and they're pretty good. And they hold their value too. That's another thing about Kubota. They hold their value good. So I usually just give that paint a good going over with the Armor All a little bit, and I'll show you what else goes on. Some guys may think this is extreme. I don't know. You let me know what you think. I just think they're too expensive to let go, so whatever. Each to their own. And I just hooked my outside garden hose up finally on the side of the house, so I really don't have to bring out the electric pressure washer for this. Doesn't really need it. And just wash all the dust and the dirt off at first, man, and just hit her with Armor All. And you know what? Actually, WD-40 works pretty good too. And by the way, up here in northeastern Ontario, it's been as hot as a fox in a forest fire lately up here, because it's been well over 80 degrees for the last week. It's been probably 85 degrees, between 80 and 90 degrees for a week here in the middle of the day. And with a super high UV too. It's been sunny, and we went from rain for a month steady almost, probably 5 weeks, almost continuous rain. At least every other day it rained, and it put a lot of jobs behind too for me and others as far as working on my shop and stuff like that, and that's coming along, and I'll tell you about that sometime soon once we get it going where it's supposed to be. But anyway, so yeah, it's put things back, but now it went from rain and lots of rain to absolute heat, major heat wave. And of course up here in northwestern Ontario, heading west, I think there's probably almost 100 forest fires going too up there. There was 100 forest fires this summer, you know, west of Thunder Bay, around Thunder Bay, all down through there. There's a lot of forest fires going this summer, so maybe they didn't get the rain we got over there, but we sure got it here. So anyway, that's the part of the armor all. And I usually like to wash these rims inside too, because a lot of grit and dirt gathers in them rims, and nothing rusts these rims faster, man, than being dirty and wet and chipped and neglected over time. They will rust out pretty fast, and I'm going to show you a couple things on the inside when I'm done. So I usually just put the old wiper to them on the inside. I usually just give them a good wash, and then I'll wipe them down, whether it be with Armor All or WD-40, whatever. It doesn't really matter, but I'm going to show you a couple things. And I'll show you something else I do besides wiping this tractor down and keeping the panels in good shape and stuff. I'll show you a couple other things. Okay, another thing that WD-40 does when you're done wiping them tractor rims, or anything really that's exposed, even lawnmower decks, anything, it doesn't matter, anything that's exposed to that dirt or grime or anything, moisture, don't be afraid to give these rims a good shot of WD right around. Take off the straw off the can, man, and just mist it out, and just give these things a light coating all the way around. Wipe them clean, give them a light coating. And another thing, by doing that and giving these rims a coating of WD, nothing sticks to them as aggressively as it would if you didn't do it. So once you put that light film of WD on there, you'll get the dust, you'll get grass, whatever sticking to the rims. But what it does is it helps you down the road to wipe them clean really easy. When you're going to clean your tractor, it could be once a year, who knows. But at least the time comes, they got a light coating of oil. All you do is take a rag and you can wipe those rims nice and clean after you give them that coating of WD. And it works pretty good for especially if you're rotary cutting, bush hogging, and you got a lot of dust sticking to the back of your tractor or whatever. You put a coating of WD on there, and then it comes off a whole lot easier. Just another little point I'd share with you guys. I've been doing it for years, man, and it works good. So this video is basically about cosmetics. It's not about the mechanical, taking care of your tractor really mechanically. That's a whole different video. It's just cosmetically. You want to keep it in fairly good shape as well as mechanical, but this is purely about wiping the tractor down, keeping it in good shape cosmetically, protecting the paint, keeping it inside if you can. Not everybody has a garage, so we do the best we can with what we got. But even if you don't have a garage, you know what? That doesn't mean you can't take care of your tractor. It can sit outside its whole life, but you know what? Doesn't mean you can't do what I'm doing and take care of it. I generally just like to wipe them down under the hood, just like anywhere else. Try and keep the dust down and do the best you can. And that way, when you go to work on something too, it's not so dirty to get at and try and find what you want to work on because it's covered in grease and oil and everything else. And I'll show you something else here. Look at the grease I just went down. I probably wipe that down about once a year. Of course, the tractor gets way over greased, but you know what? Grease is your friend. So I just wipe some of that off. And I'll, again, go over that. Look at the grease stuck in there. And yeah, that's a bit extreme, but guess what? Grease is cheap. Grease is cheap compared to worn out pins and bushings. While I'm here, we'll just give this thing a little wipe. And that's pretty extreme, but guess what? At the same time, you can never over-grease a pivot point, pins and bushings, anything like that. You could over-grease a bearing, but when it comes to bushings, pins, rotating like that, you can't overgrease them. No such thing. And that's all there is to that. Okay guys, I'm going to show you a couple things in this tractor on things I do. We just wipe the panels down with Armor All a little bit on there and the rims. You know, it's just to protect that paint a little bit from the elements too, like the moisture, dampness, whatever. Keep the paint in good shape. But anyway, I want to show you something else that I do on this tractor. I'll have a look here. You see those inner fenders? Have a look at those inner fenders in there. You see where that sheet steel meets them reinforcing brackets on those inner fenders right there? Do yourself a favor. You can see how they're fabricated on there, drilled and bolted to the supports in those inner fenders. You know what? Do yourself a favor. Grab yourself a can of, whether it be oil spray or whether it be this crown here, this rust inhibitor. I really like this crown, this KL73 or the T10 crown aerosol spray, because this stuff is exactly what it is. Rust inhibitor, penetrates and displaces moisture. It's good stuff. And just do yourself a favor. Don't even worry about cleaning the inside of these fenders. What you do, man, just shoot along them seams and let that rust inhibitor run in those cracks like so all the way along. And if you look, wherever there's a seam, let that crown sink in them seams and it'll slowly work its way down them seams. So if you're running those tractors in the winter time, especially anywhere where you got salt on the roads, salt in your driveway, whatever, brine solution on the hardtop, and you're running in the winter time, hit those seams. That's just my recommendation. You don't have to do anything, but you want those inner fenders to last, where that spray is going to get shot up and all and sit in those cracks and in them seams. You want to hit them seams right there with that crown or anything compatible, even regular motor oil. It doesn't matter, as long as you spray the inside of those and you keep those joints full of moisture displacer, oil, anything, so that salt can't sit in there. That's just a little tidbit, and I'll take you around and I'll show you a couple other things. You see the dirty rear of these rims of this tractor? I never clean them. I probably never ever will clean them. I don't wipe them. All I do is I give them an oil spray, probably I would say every year. You look on the inside, the inner rims on the rear tires, they're dirty. They're always going to be dirty, and that's just the way it is. I spray the inside and I just leave them, because you know what? You're never going to take care or maintain what you can't see, really. If it's difficult, people tend to avoid it, so why not just coat it with a brush or with spray, and then just leave it alone. Just coat them once, and then each year after that, maybe give them a shot here and there. Something else I'll show you guys here that I do on my tractor when I'm doing maintenance or cleaning. You see all these pivot points here, right there, all those end of those 3-point lift arms, anywhere where it pivots, anywhere where it's threaded, give them a shot. Give them a shot in there. It never hurts. All those places that got the weight bearing, they're load bearing, they support your 3-point arms. You know what? Down in here, bottom of your lift arms on your 3-point, give them a shot. It's cheap in the long run, because if you guys have ever noticed, you go looking at an older tractor and you see those elongated bolt holes, any elongation where things have been wearing metal on metal over the years, nobody's ever got in there and gave it any lubrication or anything. Bolt holes are distorted. Well, a lot of that's due to the fact that they were never lubricated. They were just used and put away, and I just recommend getting in there, and I don't care if it's WD-40, whatever, just give it a good shot of oil on metal. Just break that metal on metal that's going on. And I've had good luck with, like I say, with Crown. It sticks. And Fluid Film's another wicked spray for oil, for whether it be underneath a vehicle. So that's all I'm saying. You guys see that? You just lubricate those pivot points. Go all the way around. It takes a little bit of time, but you know what? It's worth it in the long run. And one other thing, I got the hood popped open on this thing. If you guys got an air compressor, which a lot of you guys probably do in your shop, in your garage, doesn't matter. Even the smallest, cheesiest air compressor, it doesn't have to be a big stand-up whatever model. It can be a small, cheesy air compressor. Just blow out your radiators, blow out your oil coolers. Don't be afraid to get that air compressor and blow out and wipe down underneath the hood of these tractors a little bit too. I mean, this tractor, she's sure not impeccably clean underneath, but you know what? At least you can see what's going on. So once in a while, when the hood's open, blow your rads out, blow your oil coolers out, and allow that air to flow freely through there. And just do it a favor. That's one other little tidbit I'll show you. As you guys can tell, I can't emphasize enough, if you got a loader on the tractor, put on some weights, whether they be suitcase weights, it doesn't matter. Whatever you got for a counterweight in the back end. I just thought I'd show you that. I've got 7 by 50 pounders, so there you go, 350 pounds suitcase weights, whatever. You can get those at an auction sale, and you can weld them right to a drawbar, whatever, but do yourself a favor, and it's a whole lot safer. Get a counterweight in the back of the tractor. And you'll notice on this Kubota, I got wheel spacers on there. If you look right inside there, you'll see I've got wheel spacers, and I think they're about 2.25 inches wide, those wheel spacers on there. And you pretty much have to have wheel spacers with these R4s if you want to put tire chains on those wheels to get them away from the inner fender. You have to put wheel spacers on these industrial R4 tires to give you the clearance for the chains to not hit the inner fender, so you have to put those on if you want to run snow chains in the wintertime, which is pretty much a must up here. But anyway, I thought I would share a little bit of this with you guys on what I do with the tractor to keep on top of a Kiney, just cosmetically. Nothing to do really with the mechanical portion of it at all, with your oils, filters, fluids, none of that. I was just showing you cleaning it, what I use to clean them, and I also, believe it or not, have tire foam. And once in a while, just like my trucks, I do hit them tires on that tractor a little bit with tire foam. I think it helps a little bit with the UV, and I just think it prolongs the rubber. Maybe it doesn't, but it certainly does look nice when it's on there, and it must do something for that rubber. So I put that on once in a while, but I haven't got that far yet. So there you go. If you guys are working on your tractor, it doesn't matter. Tractor, zero turn, excavator, it doesn't matter. It's kind of nice to have all the supplies, and once in a while, go over your machinery and give it a good go. It works hard for you, man, so you know what, in return, I would keep on top of it and keep it in good shape. Okay, you guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'm just out in the yard today fooling around, and I thought I'd make this video while I was cleaning this tractor. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Oh, and you'll also notice, if you watch my videos, yesterday I threw out that May video. I've got a bunch of B quality videos on jobs I did this year, but I never filmed, and have a look at that track machine working on that tiny home parking area on that ASV, and you can see that thing stripping sod out there too. But like I said, we're pulling a few videos out of the archives that I've got quite a bit of material, so MJ threw a video together, and it's actually pretty interesting, pretty good video, shows that RT30 in action. Okay, thanks again, bye.